Under the Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam 2023, documentary evidence is generally considered more reliable than oral evidence because documents provide a permanent record of facts and reduce the possibility of mistakes arising from memory. Therefore, as a general rule, documentary evidence is preferred over oral evidence. However, there are certain situations where oral evidence may prevail over documentary evidence or may be admitted to challenge, explain, or invalidate a document. These exceptions exist to prevent injustice and fraud. General rule: when the terms of a transaction are contained in a document, the document itself is the best evidence of those terms. Oral evidence cannot ordinarily contradict or vary the contents of the document. Example: if a written agreement states that the sale price of land is 10 lakhs rupees, a party cannot ordinarily prove by oral evidence that the agreed price was 12 lakhs rupees. Situations where oral evidence prevails. 1. To prove fraud. If a party alleges that a document was obtained by fraud, oral evidence is admissible. Example: A signs a document believing it to be a lease deed, but B fraudulently gets him to sign a sale deed. A may give oral evidence to prove the fraud. 2. To prove coercion, undue influence or threat. Oral evidence may be used to show that the document was executed under pressure or threat. Example: A signs a property transfer document because he is threatened by B. A may prove the threat through oral evidence. 3. To prove mistake. Oral evidence is admissible to show that the document does not correctly reflect the true agreement due to a mistake. Example: the parties intended to write plot number 15 but by clerical error plot number 51 was mentioned. Oral evidence may explain the mistake. 4. To show that the document was never intended to operate. Oral evidence may establish that the document was executed only as a formality and was not intended to take effect until a certain condition was fulfilled. Example: a sale deed was signed but agreed to become effective only after full payment of the price. 5. To explain ambiguous language. When the language of a document is unclear or capable of more than one meaning, oral evidence may be used to explain it. Example: a document refers to my house in Delhi, but the owner has 2 houses in Delhi. Oral evidence may identify the intended house. 6. To prove custom or usage. Oral evidence may explain a local custom, trade usage, or technical expression used in the document. Example: a trade term used in a contract has a special meaning in a particular industry. Witnesses may explain that meaning. 7. To challenge the authenticity of the document. If a party claims that the document is forged, fabricated, or not genuine, oral evidence may be given. Example: a denies signing a promissory note and produces witnesses to prove that the signature is forged. 8. To prove a separate oral agreement. Oral evidence may be admitted regarding a separate agreement on a matter not covered by the document. Example: a written contract is silent regarding transportation charges. The parties may prove a separate oral agreement concerning those charges. Simple case study. Ramesh sells his land to Mohan through a written sale deed stating that the sale price is 8 lakhs rupees. Later, Ramesh alleges that Mohan obtained his signature by fraud and falsely represented the document as a mortgage deed. Normally, the sale deed would prevail because it is documentary evidence. However, Ramesh can produce oral evidence from witnesses to show the fraud. If the court believes the oral evidence, the document may lose its evidentiary value. Thus, in such circumstances, Oral evidence effectively prevails over documentary evidence. Conclusion. As a general rule, documentary evidence is superior to oral evidence because documents provide the best proof of their contents. However, oral evidence may prevail where it is necessary to prove fraud, coercion,